Perfection, the perfect trainer. Pretty bold statement to say, but I think by the end of this video, you might agree. Welcome to the review of the 1978 Cessna 152. Cessna, a name that dominates the aviation industry because they are tried and true. They are happy, stable aircrafts, which make them perfect for training. If you've been around aviation at all, you've likely heard of the Cessna 172, which is commonly referred to as the workhorse when it comes to training. Well, this would be considered the work pony. This aircraft has a max seating capacity of 2 compared to the 172, which has a max capacity of 4. Actually, we'll get into the interior in a sec. For now, I want to talk about the power plant. The 152 is equipped with a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, a Lycoming 235 to be exact. It is an air-cooled opposing cylinder design that makes a whopping 110 horsepower. An underpowered 2-seater that's a lot of fun. Kind of sounds like a MIATA. And unlike the MIATA, this does not have a transmission. The crank is bolted directly onto this Macaulay fixed pitch propeller. Then we have a single exit exhaust. And for those of you unfamiliar with aviation, the exhaust actually has more functions than just exhaust. On the underside of this cowling, the exhaust muffler actually houses a really cool design that provides heat for the cabin as well as the carburetor. Yes, this is carbureted, not fuel injected. And all of that weight is supported by our tricycle landing gear, which houses our disc brakes. Yes, luckily they are not drum brakes. We've talked about what gives us our thrust. Now, what gives us our lift? Well, we have a 33-foot wingspan. Within this wing, you will find our fuel cell as well as our flat motors and a couple cables and pulleys in order to control our primary flight controls. Yes, the primary flight controls on this aircraft are cable driven compared to our flaps, which are driven by an electric motor. Also, some may not know this, but most aircraft windows are made out of plexiglass rather than real glass. Also, another huge plus for this aircraft is its paint quality. It is super hard to find an aircraft of this era with some decent paint. But Tiffany is rocking a Tiffany blue, white, and gold livery, which is damn near perfect. Okay, now let's get to the inside, which is where it outshines most 152s. Taking a look at our instrument panel, it may look like a standard equipped Cessna 152 because within our 6-pack we have a stack of these AV30s, and if you know much about 150s or 152s, you hardly ever see any digital screen in them. And speaking of things that are uncommon, we also have an engine monitor that will display our cylinder temps as well as our EGTs. And lastly, we are equipped with a Garmin GPS. And as far as the interior goes, it is quite comfy on short flights, but once you start getting into the cross countries, you start feeling how small this airframe is. And there we have one of its biggest limitations is space as well as weight. I'm about 2 inches and a heavy breakfast away from not being able to fit in here. Well, that just leaves one unanswered question. Well, I guess there's only one way to find out.
Cessna 24856 right tower, runway 6 right, taxi via runway 33, runway 6 right, clear for takeoff, traffic approach end that one.
Runway 6 right, cleared for takeoff for Cessna 24856.
Wheels to the floor, full power. Growth. 60. Oh yeah. She's climbing pretty good today.
856 left turn approved, contact departure 125.1.
1251, left turn approved for 85. Thank you.
Alright, so now that we've climbed a bit, how does she fly? Well, we're definitely not breaking any speed records here. These trainer Cessnas are not necessarily known for their groundbreaking speed. We are currently traveling at 87 knots. Our ground speed is going to be a little bit higher. since we do have a little bit of a tailwind. And if we talk about our climb rates, that obviously depends on a lot of things like weather, density, altitude. But at this rate, we might get to our cruising altitude in about 2 to 3 business days. And speaking of speed, this airplane used to be equipped with wheel pants. And if you guys don't know what wheel pants are, the little aerodynamic covers that go on the wheels. But removing the wheel pants from this airplane lost us about 3 knots of cruising speed. So drastic change there. Some people will swear by it and say they're gaining around 15 knots. That's questionable, but we're not here to argue that. Another good point to be made is that every airplane has its own quirks and personalities. So even if it's another 152 or another 150, they will all fly a little bit different. One will fly a little bit faster, one will fly a little bit slower. So in terms of price point, we have a very wide range. I've seen some 150, 152s for as low as $20,000, all the way up to $100,000 and $150,000. Say if you get an aerobatic 150. There's a lot of factors that can determine the price. Main ones being engine hours, paint quality, interior quality, and avionics. This one, for example, checks almost all of those boxes. It is fairly low time. Paint is immaculate, interior is really nice, and it is equipped with some pretty modern avionics like the Garmin GPS as well as the AB30s. But this has absolutely been my favorite plane to fly, which is kind of sad to say because I had my own 150. She flew great, but oh my goodness, Tiffany just checks all the boxes. All right, ladies and gents, we have now reached our cruising altitude of 6,500 feet. We will start our in-flight service featuring some peeled pistachios. We will also have beverage services of some smart water. Another good point to be made, if you just happen to be in the market for a trainer airplane, if you have the means to do it, it can be more cost effective in terms of flight training to own your own airplane, because that way you don't pay the $120 to $150 an hour rate. Instead, you would just pay your instructor's time, which averages around $50 to $75. But there's a big if with that scenario. You can save money by owning your own plane, but before you buy an airplane, please get a pre-buy inspection by an AMP or an IA mechanic. Now that can save you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Ask me how I know. When I first purchased my 150, I traded it for one of the cars that I had built, and I was 18, 19. I thought I knew everything, and I ended up buying it sight unseen. And when I got back, it needed close to $10,000 worth of repairs. So yeah, I learned my lesson. I will never buy another airplane without a pre-buy inspection. But yes, if done right, you can save a whole lot of money on your flight training with your own airplane. And it's pretty common for people to split their shares in an airplane, so you and your buddies can all buy an airplane together, and you can legally split that airplane ownership. The desert is so pretty in the air. I know I said that last video, but wow, it is insane to see all of the paths that the water makes. Going back on all of the maintenance and repairs that my airplane needed, I came across a really unique and cool opportunity to work for the flight school that I was flying with, and the lead mechanic hired me as his shop help. So I was able to get all of that maintenance and repairs done at a fraction of the cost that it would have been paying it outright. Thankfully, Ben, shout out to Ben, he helped me out a ton with that airplane. Well, I guess that's up to me, right? Let's find out.
Yellow Bend traffic, Cessna 2486, turning final for runway 04, Yellow Bend.
Oh, come on. I buttered it the last time I was here. Not this time, though. A little bounce. A little bit of float. Let's see if we can redeem ourselves.
856 following Warrior approach on runway 6 left, clear to land number 2, wind 10018.
6 left, clear land number 2 for 856.
I got that aircraft in sight. I got that aircraft in sight. Busy day here at Ryan's. All right, let's see if we could make this one a little bit better.
Ryan Tower, Cessna 2456. We're way too close to the traffic in front of us.
Cessna 856, roger, runway 6 left, go around left side.
6 left, go around for 856.
And Ryan Tower, just wanted to inform you there's a bird circling approach end of 6 right.
Yeah, we were way too close. I could almost smell his butt. There's that bird that they were talking about.
856, Cherrybell Strav left, cross 1 now.
Turning left crosswind now for 856.
Busy airport.
Caution for appears to be 3 birds circling the approach end for runway 6 right, just to the right, approximately 200 feet each. Cruise 956 Cirrus ahead is landing the parallel runway.
Where we got that traffic in sight, 856.
Cirrus 8 Papa Foxtrot, no need to acknowledge Cessna traffic has you in sight off your left wing, landing the parallel runway.
We got that traffic on opposite base inside for 36 X-ray.
36 X-ray, roger.
Cross 6 right over 2, then continue Bravo 2 there, good nice uphill.
Cirrus 8 Papa Foxtrot, turn right, your discretion.
Right on Bravo 4, 28 Fox.
Ooh, 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 ooh. All right. We had 8 knots of crosswind, of a direct crosswind. I think we did pretty good.
Helicopter 3 Tango Yankee following Warrior, short final, runway 6 left, clear for the option number 2, wind 10018. Well, I wish I would have buttered those landings a little more, but you get what you get. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. We were supposed to do a Boeing 737, but that one was down for maintenance, so here we are. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you on the next one.